Celebrity Rehab Day 33, I think. Solo Therapy Day. Um, Today, we talked about something that I hadn't realized was an issue for me up until this point. Put into words, basically. And my therapist put it into words so eloquently in a way that I can understand. And he said that it sounds like you are having a hard time feeling and doing at the same time because I'm so used to just doing and pushing my feelings down, or feeling and I can't do anything because I'm paralyzed by my feelings. But I've come to a point in my life with all of the processing that I've been doing where I'm feeling while I'm doing things, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how do people do this on a regular basis? I was talking to my therapist more about my move to Halifax and how I've actually started taking steps towards, making that a reality, because before it was just a thought, it was just a dream, it was just a theory. But this week I got my MacBook fixed. Side note, Steve Jobs is getting sodomized in hell by Hitler because Apple, y'all are crooks. Tell me why I went to Apple for a quote for getting my MacBook fixed because my keyboard just stopped working. They gonna quote me 800 motherfucking dollars. I go to the Russian man just across the street here. First of all, that man fixed it in an hour and a half, 2 hours, $126. What the fuck was Apple about to do for $800? But yes, I fixed my MacBook because I wanted to start working on my resume, because I had a conversation with my best friend, I think it was on Tuesday evening, just about me moving to Halifax. Not that it wasn't, she didn't know that I wanted to move there, but we had originally planned to move out there together. Not to say that she still won't join me out there, but I can't stay in Yellowknife until the end of this year. I know that I'm not happy there, and I haven't for a while, but what has been keeping me is the relationships that I've built with the people there. It feels like for the first time I have a family. And it's just, I hate goodbyes. It's going to be really hard to leave this family that I've made behind. Not that I'm leaving them and we're never going to speak again. This isn't even my first time moving. Like, I've moved to different countries, let alone across the country, but this time just feels more real because I'm actually allowing myself to feel the feelings that come with endings and transitions and moving and changes. Like, before, I would never fucking think about that. Not to say I wouldn't think about being scared. It was like, okay, so what? We don't have time to feel this right now. We have to move. And now that I'm actually in a place where I'm sitting still and I'm feeling whatever's coming up when it comes up, I'm like, this is a lot. Is this what people normally feel when they move? I've just been going. But now that I've stopped to take the scenic route and I'm smelling the flowers and noticing how they make me feel, it's like, oh my God, I have to feel all of this and sit with these feelings and still continue to do the thing. And my therapist was just telling me how proud he is of me, that it sounds like I'm beginning to choose myself and put my needs first. And there was a part of me that was like kind of dreading talking to my best friend about it, not because I didn't think she would support me. Actually, the exact opposite, because I knew that she would be like, I never want to be the reason that you feel like you're staying somewhere that doesn't make you happy. Bitch, you just have to love me. A part of me wanted her to be like, no, I need you to stay. And I would have been like, okay, I'm going to stay for you. But she would never do that to me. And I know that. Woo! Little tears slip out. But talking to her, she was speaking life into me. I'm not gonna lie. And it gave me the confidence to be able to actually start looking at jobs. And honestly, I still don't know what field I want to be in. I just Google search creative jobs and whatever came up, and I found something that I think I actually want to apply for. And just the feeling that I got, like that little spark where I was like, I think I could do this. I think I could do this. It was such, oh, I had missed that feeling. I thought that I would never feel that way again. That's what I was starting to believe. Side note, my skin looks phenomenal. Shout out to that new Fenty serum. Do you see I'm glowing? Yes, but back to what I was saying. Yeah, and just really spoke life to me, and it gave me the courage to start looking. I guess having her blessing. It matters to me. It matters to me. I love her. And just being able to live with my best friend for the past 4 years, it's like been the first home environment that I lived in that has been stable, and that I've just been able to go at my own pace. I've been able to fuck up. I've been able to practice conflict resolution. I've been able to just be. I've just been able to be, and I've learned so much in living with her. Living with someone that loves you and acts like it is life-changing. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna start crying. Now she texted me right now, the bitch. Oh gosh. And I know it's not a goodbye, it's a see you later, but I just don't like endings, and I wish that I could live with all of my friends in one big community where it's just us and we just love each other forever and ever more at the end. But I guess that's not realistic until I'm a millionaire and I can buy all of you bitches houses. Until then, I gotta go my own way. Yeah, and so I started looking, and I was like, once I found that the job that I would like to potentially apply for, kind of gave me a timeline for, like, when I could move out there. And I was like, okay, well, I got to edit my resume, and to edit my resume I need my laptop. And so being able to have like even just one concrete step that I can change has helped me to feel like tethered to something, because I've just been feeling like I've been floating. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know what's next. I don't know where I'm going next. I've never had so many I don't knows. And I thought that, I'm turning 30 in a month, and I just thought I would have more answers by now. And I don't. And I'm feeling all of the feelings that come with that, and trying to learn to be okay with not knowing, and just focusing on what I can carry now. I'm focusing on myself and building healthy habits to sustain me once I leave here. And I'm no longer in celebrity rehab every day, because that's another thing we were talking about. And my occupational therapist yesterday was talking about how it's very normal for people to get the discharge scaries. And I was like, fuck, I should have just been lying during sessions so I could stay longer, because it has given me routine, and a healthy routine. I mean, although those first, I want to say 2 months, the shit felt like torture. It didn't feel healthy. It felt like torture. But I think I've gotten to a place where I've done enough of the work that it's getting easier to process stuff. Not that to say that it'll ever be done. I don't think the work is ever done, but I've been building this new foundation. Like, we lifted the house and we gutted it, and we're putting in pieces of the foundation, and I'm like stepping on the foundation now, and I'm seeing like, oh, this foundation's kind of sturdy. I like how it feel when I jump on it, And then he read me the email that he is going to be sending out to my case manager to say, hey, listen, Linda, she's not coming back to that fuck ass job. And at first I was like, oh my God, I'm not even I'm not ready to read this email, even though it's a good thing. It's just, it brings up so many feelings for me. But he had me read it. I read it out loud to him. And like reading it, it helped me calm down because I was like, okay, this isn't, it's not like a bunch of personal details, everything. It's business, straight to the point. I'm glad that I got a white man advocate. Everybody needs a white man on their side to advocate for them. Okay, because they can just say and do things that other men can't say and can't get away with, being just strictly business. And he also said, he was like, wow, you should be the lady that does the Air Canada announcements, the seatbelt announcements, because your voice, your reading voice is amazing. And that just, I was like, yeah, I would honestly love to be able to do audiobooks. He said, I think you absolutely should. And I can tell you're a good singer by the way that you speak. And that just lit up my heart. And so I have been looking, now that my MacBook is fixed, I think that I can look more seriously into maybe auditioning for audiobooks now. And that is something that I wanted to do for a while. But the confidence just wasn't there. And I'm realizing that the confidence wasn't there because of all of the inner work that I needed to do. And now that I'm doing the work and I'm processing, I do have more of a belief in my capability to do. Woo, that made me want to cry. And I'm gonna let myself cry if it happens. I want to just say, I never thought that I'd be crying in these videos. And when I cried, I never thought that I would post it. What? That is such a big milestone for me, to let myself be seen, vulnerable, and believe that I'm not going to be like taken advantage, or nobody's trying to use this shit against me if I'm vulnerable. Although that bitch Sarah might be watching and be trying to figure out a way to use this against me. If you're watching, fuck you, Sarah. I'm laughing, but I mean that with my whole chest. Yeah, but processing shit just has given me more of a belief in my capabilities. Like, I sat down on my MacBook yesterday and I was looking at the auditions and I was like, oh my God, I actually think that I could do this. And I don't know why it was so scary before. So I know I'm starving. Oh my God. Yeah, so it was really nice to hear that compliment from him. And I was telling him about how my interaction with him, and like getting angry at him and him just taking it and then hearing me out and then course correcting and taking the necessary steps to regain my trust has really alchemized something in me. I want to say it like changed my life, really, because ultimately that's the thing that made me realize, like, no, Alfred actually can't be a part of my fucking life because he doesn't have the cojones, he doesn't have the emotional, what do you call it? Emotional capabilities to hold space and hear the hurt that he's caused me and then take that in without thinking, oh, I'm an evil fucking person. You can hurt me and still not be an evil person. Like, both things can be true. You can be a flawed person, but I don't think that nigga's ready to admit that to himself. So I'm not interested in having somebody in my life that's not ready to hold space and accountability for how they hurt me and then take the necessary actions. And not to say that therapist is the first one to ever teach me that, but like, to get that from a man, yeah, it's been really life-changing. And I'm trying not to think about how I really only have 3 weeks left in this program. I'm nervous, I'm anxious. I want to keep up the good work when I'm not here anymore, like I'm gonna die, when I'm not in Edmonton anymore. And I hope that the people in my community can be part of that journey and helping keeping me accountable as well. And yeah, I'm just learning how to feel and do, because I was just telling him about how I'm worried that I was rewatching my celebrity rehab videos yesterday and actually fell asleep listening to my own voice. I don't know, something about it was so comforting and I passed the fuck out. But the video I remember watching before I fell asleep was talking about how love and abuse has coexisted for me for so long that I kind of worried that if I get into another specifically work situation where it's not good for me, but I like the job, that I'll end up being like, okay, yeah, this fucking sucks and I'm being abused or this isn't safe, but I like this job, so I'm going to bite the bullet. And he was telling me how just the fact that I'm worried about that means that the light is on. Before, the light wasn't on and the shit would just happen and I wasn't thinking about it. I'm worried about staying in an abusive situation. And he was, to give an example, he was talking about how he sees a therapist because he's worried that he's not a good dad. But in even just worrying about not being a good dad, you're more aware of the things that you do in your like father relationship with your child because you're worried about not being a good dad. Not to say that you can be worried about that and still not be a good dad, but the light is on, so you're aware of that. And he was like, now that your light is on and hopefully it stays on, I think that you'll be more aware when you're in those situations. And you know what? Yeah, the light is on. The light is on. He was saying like I'm a cracked egg and you can't put the shit back in a cracked egg. That egg is cracked. And I don't think that I can go back to my old ways of being. I really think that the situation with Alfred, I love that I'm just using his government on here. Ain't nobody safe. Really showed me that, like, yeah, this was a thing in the past that used to work for you and it doesn't anymore because it doesn't align with who you are becoming, even if you don't know who that is just yet. So I'm learning how to feel and how to do synonymously. Is that the right word? At the same damn time. Yeah, and that was Celebrity Rehab Day 33.